What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks so much for clicking on this video. Your support means the world to me. Without you guys, this channel would not be going anywhere and I wouldn't be doing the videos I do. And of course, if you're new and this is the first time you stopping by, I definitely do welcome you with open arms. Hopefully you enjoy the content. If you do, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can become part of the Mustang Hunter family. With that being said, guys, you know how I do it every single Friday. I like to showcase and open up a diecast for you guys. This time I'm not sticking with a 164 scale. I moved on to a 124 scale for today's video. I do have a few 124s and 118s within my collection, but my collection is 99% 164s. So the car I'm going to be showcasing to you today is going to be from BigTime Muscle. The last BigTime Muscle I did was the 2008 Shelby GT500 KR, which I thought was an amazing cast, super clean and really detailed. So today we're going to be looking at the 2020 Shelby GT500 in black. This is also a Jada product if you're not familiar with BigTime Muscle. But look at that. I could not pass this up. They had two other variations. They had the white with blue stripes, which I had a hard time deciding which one I wanted, and they had a red fire pearl, but it had a huge scratch down the door, and it was just bugging me. And the white one had a lot of paint imperfections, but this black one, I just could not get past that sinister look. But look at that. With this, I don't mind opening up because it is a box. Now you guys know I don't like opening up my Hot Wheels because I like the artwork that's on the card. But when it comes to die casts like this, it is perfectly fine because I can just open it, reseal it back up and put it in there, or just put it on a display. On the back, of course, it shows you what's available. They actually have some really cool cars. Out of all these, I don't have any that I really want. Of course, the 2010 GT is really clean with the Borla tampos, which is similar to the Hot Wheels release. Of course, the 67 GT500 and the 2005 Ford GT are really cool. I'm just not a huge fan of those gigantic tubbed wheels like that with the real rubber band style tires on there. I like meaty drag setups, which this one actually has meaty tires on it, so I definitely had to pick this up. But we're gonna go ahead and open it and give it a closer look. Look at that. You can't even slide it out because they actually taped one end on there, so you couldn't just slide it on out. You had to make it all difficult. Look at that. Oh my God, that thing is so nice. I finished taking the rest of this stuff off. It's out without damaging anything. Do it from the bottom, guys. That way you're not scratching up the paint. All right, guys, here we go. Look at that. That black is so clean. And you guys know I love showcasing black because it just really highlights all the curves and the hard lines of any vehicle, no matter what it is. Coming along the side, as you see right here, this is the way Jada should be doing all their cars, with the nice and realistic factory setup. You do have the beefy and meaty tires in the rear, as well as some slightly meaty tires up front. Don't get me wrong, BigTime Muscle does a really good job with their cast, but sometimes a big, gigantic, overly deep dish wheel with the rubber band tire isn't always the coolest. Now, I think the way they set this vehicle up right here is perfect. This is the way I have my actual Mustang set up. I have a meaty tire in the rear, the staggered look as this one does. And I think Jada really hit it spot on with this one, with this setup. You do have the legendary Shelby snake right here on the front fender, and the yellow rocker stripes running down the bottom. Of course, you do have the splitters all the way around from the front. You got the side splitters and then going onto the rear, which we're gonna be moving on to. So moving on to the back, you do have some really nice detail. Those taillights look so cherry. It even has the realistic bezels that surround the cherry red taillights right there. Now, this rear end definitely had to grow on me. I wasn't a big fan of it at first, back when 2015 hit and the new redesign came, because I was more into the S197 body style, but this S550 has grown on me so much. As you see right here, you do have the snake on the deck lid, as well as the BigTime Muscle license plate, which they have on all theirs. You do have the reverse light in this lower diffuser right here, and then you have the quad exhaust, which actually is 2 chrome mufflers that run pretty much to nothing. It's just the basic casting of the exhaust, which I might detail all this. That way it can kind of look like it flows together. But overall, still really good detail. The trunk does open. It is just your standard trunk, nothing going to be in there. I'm surprised they didn't put a nitrous bottle, because I know they like to do that in a lot of their casts. But I'm glad they kept this factory fresh, kind of like how Hot Wheels does when they release a factory fresh version. Seeing that it does have this black carbon fiber spoiler tells me that this has the carbon fiber upgrade kit. On the actual car, that is an $18,000 upgrade. You do get the carbon fiber spoiler, the carbon fiber wheels, as well as an optional back seat, which this does not have the back seat. We're going to go ahead and open up the doors and check out this interior. It does have the basic details of the Mustang, of course. And the only detail you see right there is the instrument cluster, where you can see the TAC as well as the track options, which is in the center, and then of course the speedometer. Just a basic detailed steering wheel with a snake on there, and then of course you do have the Recaro style racing seats, and it does have these snakes embossed on both of them, so that's pretty cool. If you caught on and noticed earlier, you only have 2 pedals, the brake and the accelerator, because the 2020 GT500s only come in automatic. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, what, a GT500 in automatic? Well, it is what it is. The GT350 and the GT350R were the only ones that had the option of a manual only. They didn't have an automatic option, whereas the GT500 is the opposite. It's automatic only, no manual option. Moving on to the front, you do have the really nice mesh upper and lower grills, as well as the lower fog light. Or the fog light area, which is underneath the front turn signal right there. I do like that it does have the GT500 embossed in this front bumper. Now, traditionally on the new 2020s, this is standard in black, whereas the rest of the car is a brighter color. So I'm glad they actually separated this gloss paint from this front grille right here in a charcoal gray. That way it kind of separates it and doesn't really get washed out in the look. Moving on to the bottom front spoiler, you do have the word Shelby, which is accurate to the actual vehicle. And then of course you do have the really good side splitters that run along this front spoiler right here. Really good detail, and I love the fact that it has the snake right there up front. Headlights are very basic, of course. They're just the clear plastics, no other detail. Of course, the actual vehicle, the bumpers look a lot wider than this cast, but they can only do with what they did. You can see they have a subtle vent that runs on the side, but the actual car looks way more exotic and way more wider than this one does. Moving on to the hood, you do see that it has the massive heat extractors and the hood pins. On the factory car, those are functional. You just push these down and it pops the hood up, of course. We're going to go ahead and showcase this engine bay, see what it looks like. And it is very, very basic. You do see that you can see through the heat extractors, which is very nice. On the actual vehicle, there is a cover that covers this. And it does give you the option of removing it for track purposes. That way it allows the heat to extract through those vents, or when you're on the road driving, you can put the cover back on to prevent water and anything else getting into the engine bay. So I think that's a really cool feature. Now, you do have really good detail as far as the casting detail goes. There's no color detail. It is all charcoal gray. You do have the Shelby snake sitting on top of that supercharger, and then you do have the powered by Ford valve covers right there, which is kind of hard to see, but I'm trying to get the light in there. So yeah, this engine is no joke. It is a 5.2 liter V8 with a supercharger on top, pushing 760 horsepower, making this the most dense and most powerful Ford engine ever produced and currently standing right now. I mean, a 5.2 putting that much power out is ridiculous. If you're talking comparisons with the Hellcat Red Eye, which is 797 horsepower, or even just the Hellcat in general, 700 plus, I mean, that's a 6.2 liter V8. Getting that much power out of 5.2 is very impressive. But yeah, I know it starts out around $70,000 and some get to $100,000 depending on what option it is. I'm just going to go ahead and assume with the options that this car seems to mimic after with the carbon fiber upgrade and probably everything that's on this cast, it is probably close to the $100,000 price range for a Mustang, which is insane. But this car is so beautiful. The only thing I don't like about it is these rear brakes right here. You can see it's really mounted onto the chassis, where the front ones are pretty accurate to where they need to be. But that's still very subtle. I'm not going to complain too much about that. I mean, that's what they had to do. But look at the way this car's setup looks. That is the way Jada should do it from here on out with any vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and set this onto the mat. That way we can really showcase this car. Oh man, that shot looks so good. Look at that. That is nice. The way that gloss black just looks with the black on black wheels. And of course the yellow just pops. That is nice. Now this is the way Jada should make all their casts. Look at that detail. All I gotta say, guys, is I am not disappointed in this. I paid like 14 bucks for it, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I'm able to showcase it to you guys because this is an awesome and super sick cast. Let me know what you like about this video. And of course, if you liked the overall content, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so you don't miss out on any other Free It Fridays or peg hunting videos. So stay tuned for those by clicking the notification bell. That way you can stay tuned for everything the Mustang Hunter does. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else. And until next time, this is the Mustang Hunter. Peace.